Come on, Dodgers. Damn it. You have to sign everybody? Yeah, they signed another one. One that we really wanted to return to the Rangers. We talk about that and more as we get started right now on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Yeah, there he goes. The crisis gets even worse as Kirby Yates is headed, like so many others, to Los Angeles as we welcome you into the DLLS Rangers podcast. John Radigan here with Jeff Wilson. We've got the Prophet over there, and we've got you. I know BC probably be here today. He's one of our favorite diehards, and we love you, BC. But damn it, the Dodgers just keep signing guys up. They've signed Kirby Yates now. That after, I said in the description of the show, they set the market for closers Sunday by signing Tanner Scott. Now they're trying to corner the market, Jeff. They're getting them all.
It's pretty interesting. It's like, what are they going to, they have Blake Trinan and Tanner Scott, like you said, and now they have Kirby Yates. I wonder what their plans are, because Tanner Scott could set up. He could be he's a lefty specialist. He could be a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. And
Kirby Yates could close. And Blake Trinan, you could use him, in the sixth inning conceivably. It's pretty remarkable. Although with this, apparent superstar rotation, are they going to go to
right.
How many are the starters going to be? Are they going to keep a rein on them? They have to keep a rein on some of them. I'm imagining Ohtani. The three Japanese pitchers will be kind of on an innings limit, I would guess. But yeah, Glass now with his injury history, and Blake Snell, who maybe started to buck the can't go more than 7 innings trend last year, but and then you saw what they did in the postseason when they had all the starting pitching injuries. They had bullpen games, so. I don't know. They have a bunch of ways they can beat you with their pitching staff, not to mention with bludgeoning you with that offense. So, it's pretty it's pretty amazing what the Dodgers are doing, and I don't know what needs to be done about it.
Well, and that's a good question, and that's one we're going to address in just a second. It is a classic case of the rich, the super rich, the ridiculously rich getting richer in the case of this Dodgers team, which has done so much during this offseason to pretty much acquire everybody and anybody. They missed out on Soto, I guess, right? I mean, that's the only thing they have missed on thus far, and that might go back to last offseason too. They have the ability, the financial wherewithal to get everybody, and they appear, their hearts are set on getting everybody. It worked last year. They won a World Series, and they needed the depth that they had, and that much of which they had acquired. They needed that depth in order to win that World Series. So, they probably figure, well, we aren't going to stand idly by. We'll need it again, and here they go.
They're not just getting depth, though. They're getting like all-stars.
Yeah, true.
They're spending, I think their payroll is already at $380 million, somewhere around there. I don't think Yates has officially agreed. Or he has agreed. It's not an official deal. So it still has to pass a physical, according to one report, and there are a couple others that saying, oh, yeah, it's pretty close. Not there yet. I've seen a lot of people say, well, you need a salary cap in baseball. Well, and then people are like, Rob Manfred needs to step in and do it. Rob Manfred works for the owners.
Oh, yeah. No, he's not
Rob
doing
Manfred
anything.
is not working on his own here. He is tied to the owners. If the owners want to do that, then Rob Manfred will do that. I think what they need to do is close the deferred money loophole.
Yes.
You don't, no more deferred money. All right. I think that's the way to go, at least initially, because eventually this current CBT is going to expire, maybe in 2 years, I think. And we had the owners locked out the players last time around, and it threatened the season. It was delayed and kind of rushed and went a little long. Anyway, if there's serious talk from ownership about a salary cap, there's going to be a player strike.
Oh yeah.
They don't want that crap.
No.
They want as much money as they can get. But I think the deferred money has to go. That loophole needs to be closed, and maybe that's the compromise between the two.
No doubt, because when we've heard even as recently as the Tanner Scott deal, he got a $20 million signing bonus and $22 million in deferred money. Right. So he basically only counts $32 million against their collective bargaining threshold tax.
Okay. Shohei Ohtani counts for $2 million.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
insane.
That's
because he
thing.
deferred all of it.
Yeah. He deferred $680 million. So that is it's a business decision for sure. It's a bad business decision if they want to sell the club.
Yeah.
Because owners don't want to pick up deferred money.
Sure.
Or potential buyers don't want to pick up debt. Right.
But I don't know that group wants to sell the team
right, exactly.
anytime soon.
Yeah. It just seems like it needs to be reined in. And Steve Cohen with the Mets, when he went wild with Scherzer and Verlander a few years ago, all that was guaranteed. He didn't defer any of that.
No.
And there are ways to get around it. Signing bonuses to mitigate the CBT. The Rangers have done that. And maybe the CBT needs to be a little bit higher, but still you're talking about teams. There are going to be teams that aren't going to be able to compete, or very rarely will have success, like the Pirates, let's just say, or Cleveland and Detroit. I know Detroit has spent money in the past, but these teams ran into trouble against the Yankees in Cleveland's case, Detroit's case, right?
Yeah, no. Cleveland's case. Yeah. Cleveland beat Detroit. Yeah.
But they didn't have starters. They had to rely on their bullpen. Their bullpen was worn down. They didn't have the financial wherewithal to go and load up like the Dodgers are doing, and like the Rangers did kind of at the trade deadline in 23. When they got two starting pitchers, one of whom was injured in Scherzer, but Jordan Montgomery, he came in and it was unbelievable. So anyway, it feels like there's going to be a groundswell here, but also you still have to go out and win the games. No team has repeated in baseball since the Yankees in 20 from 98 to 2000.
Yeah, and, for 25 years.
And the thing is, the Yankees, they were talking about, they spent all this money. All their their main star players of that dynasty were homegrown, and worked their way through the financial situation and re-signed with the Yankees or signed extensions, however you want to look at it. But Derek Jeter drafted and developed, Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, those guys who are the backbone of those teams were homegrown. So the Dodgers, I don't know. Do they have any homegrown players? I mean, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, but they're injured all the time. They just traded Gavin Lux. So
it's a good point.
If BC was here, he could fill us in. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of homegrown talent on that Dodgers team. Kershaw, of course, but he's kind of toward the end. But it's something that I think will be a talking point for a while, and I'm sure that in spring training, Rod Manfred meets with the media in each Grapefruit and Cactus League. I'm sure he'll get asked about it and have to answer it. But for now, it looks like they've built a super team, and the Rangers need a closer.
Yeah, they definitely do. And this building of the super team is something that I remember back as far as when free agency first started. And even then, the Yankees had all the money. And the Yankees kind of did that. George Steinbrenner, would not be outdone. He would not be outbid. He bid for everybody. He got everybody. And it was almost proven then that you can't buy a championship, right? He kept trying, and they just couldn't. It wasn't until they grew, had homegrown talent that they got back to that level, really through the 90s. I mean, all those guys you mentioned were there throughout that whole 96, 98, and then obviously 99 and 2000, right? Yeah. That whole group was homegrown, or at least the backbone of it was, and it proved like buying the championship wasn't the best way to go then. Clearly, the Dodgers are proving in this day and age you can.
We all silly like the mayor.